Well, if Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is telling the truth, we have even bigger problems tonight. The president of Syria telling 60 Minutes ISIS has expanded since the U.S. started airstrikes.
How much of a benefit are you getting from American airstrikes in Syria, reducing the power of ISIS?
Sometimes you could have local benefit, but in general, if you want to talk in terms of ISIS, actually ISIS has expanded since the beginning of the strikes. Not like some American wants to sugarcoat the situation as to say that it's getting better. ISIS has been defeated and so on. Actually, no. You have more recruits. Some estimates that they have 1,000 recruits every month in Syria and Iraq. They are expanding in Libya, and many other Al-Qaeda affiliates organizations have announced their allegiance to ISIS. So that's the situation.
And former UN Ambassador John Bolton joins us. Good evening, sir. I suppose that President Assad has every reason to say that our airstrikes are failing and that as a consequence, ISIS getting more recruits. On the other hand, what if he's telling the truth and maybe he's calling it like it is? That's very disturbing.
Well, I think there's probably not much geographical expansion of ISIS in what used to be Iraq and Syria. But I think the point he's making is that despite the presence of U.S. airstrikes around the world, ISIS is actually gaining more adherents. So that his point is that they're not intimidated by the involvement of the United States. And I would say specifically with respect to the one place that Iraqi government forces have been committed, along with U.S. airstrikes into Crete, that the Iraqis still have not taken that town back, despite 3 weeks of effort, including U.S. bombing, despite the fact that we know most of the ISIS forters got out of the city in the initial days. They're still holding out. This doesn't augur well for the touted attack on Mosul to try and retake that important Iraqi city. So I think what Assad's trying to say is that so far the American involvement has not made a real military difference.
Well, the fact that we haven't, but that Iraq hasn't taken back to Crete, as you note, I mean, if it's been going on for 3 weeks, I mean, I don't see how that is in any way anything but a very bad sign, because they're getting support now overhead from U.S. support. They've got Iranian support. You've got Iraq, who is going full speed ahead, and you've got ISIS, who does not quite have the firepower that their opponents have.
Right. I think this is a further indication, by the way, that what we call Iraq today is simply a satellite of the government of Iran. They use Shia militia, who by all reports committed the same kind of atrocities once they got inside Tikrit that ISIS itself had committed, which is certainly not going to make reconciliation at some far distant point in the future any easier. The fact is that Assad is now in a better position than he's been in a long time, which is why he is asking or saying he's ready to negotiate with the United States. This is the optimal moment for Assad, because he knows that Obama is so desperate for a deal on the Iranian nuclear program, he thinks maybe he can save his own regime in the process.
One quick question. What do you make of the fact that we're up against a deadline and there's no deal so far? We have till 6 p.m. tomorrow night, theoretically, but what do you think?
John Kerry will declare success in Geneva, even if he has to do it on April Fool's Day. I'll bet on it.
Ambassador, thank you.
Thank you.